Yep. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. And we are live. Fantastic. Get more comfortable here. Put you up there. You know what? I forgot my chat dock. That's not gonna help. Yeah. Yep, there we go. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Just like that. Hey there, hi there, Hyde here. And today, you know what? I do apologize, but I am feeling awfully sick. So this is probably going to be a shorter stream for a variety of reasons, yeah. Let's see, there we go. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty sick. And that's unfortunate. You know why I'm feeling sick? It's the stupidest reason. And it is the same reason that I always feel sick. I went to the store about 2 days ago. And you know what happens when you go to the store? You're picking up items which are covered in other people's hand grime. Yeah. Like, people don't wash their hands, apparently. I don't know what it is. I think we can make that. I have to assume that because I went during the weekday, and it was kind of in the... No, we can't make that. In the afternoon, there were a bunch of elderly people there. And I know, I'm technically elderly myself, right? 187 or so. I'm not doing well tonight. But that's okay, right? I got the sniffles. These things will happen. Is it possible? If I do this, like, I might be able to get the one ball in that star pocket, but I'm going right for the corner pocket there. Not ideal. Instead, we might try this. So yeah, I went to the store, and I failed miserably on that shot. There were a bunch of old people. In fact, I got stuck behind an older person while I was trying to go through the aisles. Have you ever been in that situation where the store isn't crowded, but you really want to get to an item at the end of the aisle? And there's one person who is taking up the entire aisle? Maybe that's an American problem. I don't mean that as any kind of physical nature. Although you could include that, that's not quite what I meant. I only mean to say that I think Americans are probably more rude when it comes to taking up the entire aisle, right? Yeah. So, these types of people often put their cart in the middle of the aisle. I don't know why. Like, what possesses them to do that? And then they walk over to the item they want, right? Yeah. They walk over to the item they want on either side while leaving their cart right there in the middle. So it's impossible to get past them. Because, as you know, store aisles are short on space. There are often displays. There are often, you know... They're not really made for anyone to be going through the middle like that. Sure, it's ideal if you can. That way you can go and easily get whatever you want from whichever side you want. But that's not really what they're made for, no. You're supposed to have enough room for a cart to go one way and a cart to go past it the other way. And just like on the highway, you can pass people if they're going in the slow lane and you get stuck behind them. you should be able to pass them. No turn signal required. It ought to be the case, but it often isn't. I don't get it. People are just very rude. Anyway, this person in particular was touching every item that she could find, and I get it. A savvy consumer is one who understands the item they are buying, the nutritional value inside of said item. I think here's something interesting that I've remembered just now, in fact. I think if I do this, something interesting does happen, yes. So if you sink the cue ball on a zone pocket, a lot of interesting effects happen. I forgot about that for who knows how many years. I'm not really sure what's happening here. Like, can you stop? Can you get me out of this purgatory? Why is momentum increasing? Is it gonna go in? Is it gonna stop? Okay. Very good. Except we still lost the ball, but I think we gained the points. This is a terrible shot. It's like the DVD logo thing. Yeah. That's a reference that no one's gonna get. Because, you know, most people here are probably Zoomers. Yeah, and I'm actually an old man. This is an awful shot. I think we just have to hit it hard and pray that we can bank it. And we could not bank it. It was like the DVD logo thing. So for those who do not remember the DVD logo, oh, that is sad. But back in the day, all media used to be stored on these things called DVDs. Yeah. And DVDs were just basically a disc format. Yeah, for storage. This is a tough shot too. I didn't really leave myself anything. And if you left it on too long, like, they often had menus. So those menus could lead to screen burn, especially in older televisions. So they had this thing called a screensaver. Ooh, a screensaver. I know. Those are on computers nowadays too. Screen burn is much less of a thing these days, although it still happens. Yeah. So you gotta watch out for it. Anyway, there was a bouncing logo on pretty much every DVD player, and that was to keep the image moving on the screen so that you didn't get screen burn. Yeah. And I recently, as in maybe a month or two ago, played a game based on that. So yeah, that is the deep reference there. I was talking about rude older people in grocery stores, though. I know what you're thinking. He remembered. Yeah, I did remember. This isn't even one of the topics that I wanted to talk about today, but apparently it is, because I am doing it. By the way, I have actual juice boxes. Like, I was very, not pleased with the coffee juice box imitation that I made last week. Like, a lot of you probably thought it was awful. Yeah. So, if that was you, and, you left forever because of that, that's fine. I hope you know that now I have actual juice boxes. And it's not just one juice box, it's not 2 juice boxes. I actually have 3 juice boxes today. Yeah, just in case I really need that juice box fix. We're gonna try and do our best to stream for as long as I can in my sick condition. Right, right. I have to finish that story, don't I? Hmm. Well, you know I bought juice boxes at the store. Yes, I did. And I got a good price. I got a good deal on those. They're 100% juice from concentrate. Because you can't get anything else, right? Like, every juice in America is made from concentrate. It's true. You have to fresh squeeze it yourself if you want anything different. Yeah. It just makes sense to store it that way and to ship it that way. Or that. Ooh. Ooh. I was not even intending for that. It just makes sense, right? Like, that's the easiest way to ship a product with the least amount of weight. You don't want to transport water if you can avoid it. It's easier to transport everything but the water, and then to use local sources of water. Yeah. I know that doesn't make much sense when these are prepackaged juice boxes, but it makes sense in the long run, I guess. Gonna try and bank it. I'm gonna completely miss it. No, we nudged it. Anyway, I got stuck behind an older lady who was touching literally every product on the shelves. It was fascinating to see in a way because I've never seen anyone actually touch every single item. Oh, I missed the zone thing again. My bad. Let's do this. Okay, look at the number of balls up in the top left corner. You see I got 3? I still have 3. Isn't that neat? That's a nice little bonus feature. Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna sync this, but you should have touched everything first to establish ownership. We got a 3-up. Wow. I didn't know you could get 3-ups from that. I don't think that's how it works. No. We're not dogs, and we don't mark things with our scent. We mark things with our hand grime, apparently. And I'm very careful when I go to the stores. I wash my hands immediately when I come back. Unfortunately, I am a smoker, so I can't avoid smoking on the car drive back, because driving stresses me, you know? Like, it really stresses me out. Not the driving itself. Like, I'm operating a couple tons of metal that could kill a person very easily if I make a slight mistake or I'm not vigilant enough. That should be stressful for most people, but that's not the stressful part for me, no. It's dealing with the other drivers on the road that are... well, shall we say, I do wonder how some of these people pass their driving license exams. Yeah. Like, they pass their test and then they just forget about everything they ever learned about driving. I think that's how it happens. Yeah. They just ignore all of the rules of the road. They'll tailgate. I hate the tailgating the most. Yeah. When they're just riding your tail and you're already going like 4 miles over the speed limit, 4 miles per hour. And they're still back there, just trying to push you along. Like, buddy, come on, I'm not going anywhere any faster. Neither are you. It's usually the case. I like being in the middle of traffic, if I can do it. I don't like being leader of the pack, right? Because if you're in the middle, you have plausible deniability, right? So if you're breaking the law by, say, going a little bit over the speed limit, but you're just following someone who's going faster, well then you're usually fine, right? The cops don't really go after you. They go after the leader of the pack. And you can just say, I was being pushed by traffic, or I was following this other person and I didn't notice how fast I was going. And usually that'll get you out of a pinch. I have never seen it not. Then again, I've never seen anyone pulled over if they're in a line of cars. stopping traffic like that is actually a great way to cause roadway traffic collisions. So cops seem to be advised not to do that.
Presented by Data Eat.
Right. Their job is to prevent traffic collisions. It's not really to pull over everybody and just give them all tickets. Although you will get cops like that. Usually the rookie cops, because they have quotas, right? Yeah. Believe it or not, some police stations operate on a quota system where you have to pull over and give tickets to a certain number of people, or else you risk sanctions or whatever, suspensions, things like that, right? Where your job could be on the line. Yeah, it's not ideal, that kind of system, but that is how it works here in America. Usually that's coming from the higher ups too. Yeah, that's what I've heard at least. That those decisions are established by the more political of the police officers, yeah. The people actually making decisions. Yeah. I don't know. I really don't care. I was talking about old ladies putting their hand crime on supermarket items. Yeah. So we're gonna go back to that topic. So I got stuck behind this old lady pretty much the entire length of my go in that store. Yeah. I would always pass her, and then when I would find an item, like, she would hurry up past me. I don't know why, but she had to be in front of me. For whatever reason. She had to be in front of me. And she did a darn good job of it whenever I picked anything up to actually look at it and put it in my cart. Yeah. So I got stuck behind her quite a bit. And I don't know, maybe she wanted to put hand crime on all of the items I wanted to buy specifically. Like, some people are like that. They just want to spread plagues. I have to assume that that was her goal, right? Like, she was engaging in some kind of bioweapon experiment. Hold on, I shouldn't be talking about that, right? Well, I'm a small enough streamer. YouTube, this is all satire. Yeah. Can you tell by the look on my face, YouTube? It's all satire. None of it's real. None of it's real. Hold on a second, I need to cough. There we go. I don't know if that's from smoking or if that's just the congestion in my head from getting sick from hand crime. Like old lady hand crime specifically. I do have to make that very clear. You never know with old ladies, right? They can be touching anything and not washing their hands. Yeah. Very gross. Very gross stuff. This stream is... Huh. Well, I'm sure it's fine, right? I think we're gonna have to... do something like this? Yeah, I think that'll get us enough go. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, the old ladies especially. I don't like getting behind them at supermarkets. But that's just the person I observed. Putting her grimy hands on pretty much every product she could get her grimy hands on. Right? For every old lady that you see putting her grimy hands on a product, how many do you think there are that you don't see going through that store every day? And those products, they don't often get restocked. They don't get taken off the shelf unless there is a customer who, I don't know, takes it and then doesn't put it back properly. Like, those items will remain on the shelf until they need to be cleared from the shelf. Potentially months, given the preservatives in some products. I don't know how long bacteria and viruses live in hand grime on something like a box of breakfast cereal. I'm not a biologist. I'm not a microbiologist either. I couldn't tell you. I didn't mean to do that. But it works. I really shouldn't go after these super balls. I know I shouldn't, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't know how long viruses and stuff last. I probably should, right? Like, we were all taught that a couple years ago. Roughly. Yeah, roughly 4 years ago. We were taught that lesson. So maybe I should know how long common viruses last, but I don't. I just know that I always get sick after going to grocery stores. And I have to assume it's because people stopped washing their hands. And my immune system, because I rarely go out and interact with people, my immune system is probably god-awful. And as a smoker, I'm already susceptible to upper respiratory illnesses, right? Because my mucous membranes are always slightly irritated. They're always slightly inflamed. My body has to contend with that. And then it has to contend with whatever happens with viruses or bacteria. And it's just a mess. I hate going to stores because of it. But it isn't just stores. Like, I get sick going pretty much anywhere with people. And it's not because my immune system is, like, inherently garbage. No, it's not inherently garbage. I just don't go out enough for it to be working. Yeah. This is a bad shot. I can feel it. I'm sure if I went out more often, I would not have this problem. But I would have other problems, and I don't want to deal with those other problems, you know? Yeah. Very nice shot. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the me getting sick story. I got stuck behind an old lady in a grocery store and ended up touching things that she touched, probably. I don't know, though. Like, when you go to a grocery store, do you actually touch the first thing you see on the shelf? I know some people do, but I'm not the type of person that does that. What I like to do is I like to grab from the back. Yes, I am that annoying person that grabs the items from the back of the shelf, just to make sure that I have the least chance of touching something that somebody else has touched. Like, I know some human had to stock it. Their hands were on that box to put it on the shelf, to neatly arrange it. And, that gets cycled sometimes, right? Like, goods get cycled. They get moved to the front, they get moved to the back, so that they look neat. They look presentable. It makes people want to buy things when they look neat and presentable. And when they do not look neat, and they do not look presentable, they tend to not want to buy things. It's a very simple system, and it works very well. Yeah. I thought that was going in for sure. Didn't even try for that. Wow, we are losing terribly tonight.
Presented by
Fun
Data
fact,
East.
each one of these juice boxes is 6 fluid ounces, and it contains 70% of my daily vitamin C, which is good because most days I get about 0% of my daily vitamin C. That's usually the case, yeah. I do have to worry about things like scurvy. Like, I feel like a pirate, you know? If I had a red beard, I could be Redbeard. Although that reminds me of a comment I got on one of my shorts a while ago. Someone asked me if I was a discount Shanks from One Piece. And if you've ever seen One Piece, Shanks is a red-headed pirate. And I thought to myself, well, you know what? I have a straw hat. I have a straw hat that I sometimes wear in my videos. And it does make me look even more like a discount Shanks. I don't actually watch One Piece. I watched, like, the first couple seasons of One Piece, and then things started getting crazy, right? Like, I was in it for pirates, and I was in it for magical pirates, and I was in it for exploration, and then, you start dealing with, like, oh, it's actually a post-apocalyptic world, and, there's all this crazy stuff happening. And there's a forbidden history. Yeah, it got a bit too much for me, right? Like, the same thing happened to me with Naruto, although I somehow suffered through all of Naruto to get to Naruto's conclusion. I can't remember if I actually watched the end of the Ninja War. I think I might have. I remember that I got pretty far, but I might have missed the last little portion, and I might have just read the synopsis for it after giving up. I think that's what happened. That happens to me a lot, surprisingly. I don't like endings for a lot of things. If I have spent a lot of time on something, and it's a good story, and I really get invested in it, or even if it's a bad story, and I really get invested in it, sometimes I'll just not finish it, so that I can leave it open-ended, and imagine how the story might have ended. Because if you do that, you have an infinite number of possible endings, right? It's not just one, absolute that the author decided was the case. I think we can do this pretty easily. No, we can't. We cannot do that very easily. We have failed. We have failed miserably. Anyway, yeah. When I invest a lot of time into a franchise, or just going at a snail's pace here. You done? Yeah, okay, thank you. When I invest a lot of time into a franchise, or I think that it's particularly good, I will often just not finish it. Like, I do that with games, I do that with movies, like series of movies, like trilogies. Or I do that with television, yeah, television shows and light novels. All sorts of things that I just never finish. Because in my mind, I can have infinite possibilities, right? Yeah. There's not just one absolute objective ending. It's like you can have your own interpretation the entire time. And any of those loose threads, those plot holes, you can fill them yourself with your own speculation and make a go of it. You don't have to worry about right or wrong. You don't have to worry about certain endings being sad or garbage. Game of Thrones, I'm looking at you. Yeah. I was not happy about the ending of Game of Thrones. Like, I feel like there was so much that was just rushed. And, who has a better story? Yeah. I don't know. Like, maybe if, Martin had finished writing his stories, things would have ended up a little bit better. I don't know if he'll ever finish. I really don't. I don't think anyone does. It's kind of like, Silk Song, isn't it? Yeah. Will it ever come out? Maybe. Maybe not. But you end up feeling it like a clown waiting, I guess, yeah. uh, I doesn't know. Okay, juice box. Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly like that. With a nice clown wig. Speaking of clowns, Clown Hyde is going to make a return this week. He, actually has a video that he recorded. At least he should have. I have to find it. I'm pretty sure he recorded it. I hope he did. If he didn't, I am one video down in my backlog. Fun fact, no, that's a bad shot. We need to go a little bit... no, that's too high. Fun fact, we are doing this stream in 720p. Actually, Diana, well, welcome to the stream. I have not been sleeping very well as of late, but that's not what's going on. Yeah, I just got done discussing how, I got another one of those nasty upper respiratory illnesses from going out to the grocery store and getting stuck behind, an older lady who was touching literally every product on every shelf in front of me while taking up the entire aisle so that I could not get around her. And whenever I would stop to get a product, even if I could get around her, she would speed up and resume touching every product in front of me. I have to assume that she was Pestilence herself. Yeah, you know, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Yeah, she was Pestilence, spreading whatever got me sick. You never would have guessed. Really? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely one of those days, isn't it? Anyway, we were talking about Clown Hyde and how Clown Hyde is supposed to make a return. Yeah, Clown Hyde is going to be back on the channel as long as I recorded that video. Right, I recorded videos from my backlog. I noticed that last week's recordings from my backlog, which did not go out for the most part this week. I used mostly older recordings for this week. They were very framey. Yeah, I had CPU issues or GPU issues. Probably both, if I had to guess. So, we're back in 720 for now. I did not fix that, and I probably won't. We're probably going to be in 720 for a bit. Yeah, just to make sure, I'm going to do some cleanup. Yeah, make sure I can get everything that isn't supposed to be running, not running. Right? Like, I had, I turned off all of the applications that start on startup. The unnecessary ones, especially. And, somehow, when I started my computer to do this stream, Discord came up. Which it is not supposed to do. It is very much not supposed to do that. And it did. So I have to look at that again. Oh, lower quality video. I do appreciate the compliment there. High quality streamer, huh? Huh. I appreciate the compliment at least. Thank you, Diana. Well, actually, the quality of Hyde content probably has remained the same as of late. We're working on that. I'm gonna try and get Id's sermon finished. But I think I have to be in the right mood to portray Id, and I have to be in the right mood to act as Id. Like, the same thing is true for Jekyll. It's very hard to force Jekyll out when I don't feel very Jekyll-y. Yeah, no high energy, Jekyll content without without high energy. It makes sense, right? So mostly it's been defaulting to Hyde, which I know is not ideal. The last recording session, I got one of each. I got a Jekyll content, a Hyde content, and a Clown Hyde content. So there should be variety upcoming. And I'm very happy with the way that recording session went. They're very short games, but I think they will, yeah, they'll make me very happy to give that kind of content. Summoned through the power of energy drinks. You know, you were in grad school, right? So you probably are familiar with the taste of energy drinks. But Hyde here, he barely ever drank energy drinks, indeed. My go-to has always been black coffee. I can't do the chemically taste. Is chemically a word? I have to wonder if chemically is a word. Probably is. I can't do that taste. I don't know if it's the taurine, I don't know if it's the battery acid. It's something in there that I just don't like. It might just be the aspartame, right? Like, for some reason, energy drinks, they'll put in all of these weird energy chemicals, like taurine and, I don't know, bat guano, whatever they want. But the minute you put in sugars, it's like, no. No, you can't have actual sugar. That's something your body uses as energy. You would think that they would put sugars in their drinks, but they do not. They put artificial sweeteners and try to market it as some kind of health drink, when it clearly isn't a health drink. Make you feel ick. I am sorry to hear that they make you feel like that. I'm not surprised that they make you feel like that. Yeah. Sticking to cat or coffee is probably for the best. Like, it's not ideal to ingest caffeine, like some kind of caffeine, but if you do need the energy, and caffeine works for you, and you don't have, like, a heart condition or something, then it's socially acceptable, right? It is very strange how we have socially acceptable drugs, like caffeine and nicotine and, well, I guess taurine and all of those other things. Yeah, they're socially acceptable. Even alcohol, Juicebox ASMR. That's right. Like I said, I went to the store. And believe it or not, I have not one, not two, but 3 juice boxes here with me. Just in case. I don't know if we're gonna get through them all. I don't think we will. I actually do have plans for later this morning. By which I mean I am, despite my health, probably not going to sleep tonight. Yeah, bit frustrating. Oh, you like the... Ooh. Yeah. You like the taste of some energy drinks, but the taste isn't worth it. That is a strange opinion. I have only ever met... So sorry, I don't mean to call you strange. I have seen that before, but I've only met one other person like that. And they specifically only liked the blueberry Red Bull. That was the only energy drink that they liked, but they enjoyed the flavor of it. And I had only ever had the original flavor, which I think was Red Lake number 40. Maybe, maybe. And I tried the blueberry one, it was okay. I didn't like it, but it was tolerable. Not all of them are terrible. I don't know. Weird for less, not offended. I'm glad I didn't offend you. I know, I've been blurting things out quite a bit tonight, and that is less than ideal. My mind is a little bit less filtered than usual.
Game over.
Yeah, it's like a pulpy juice, you know? All the brain pulp is still in there. Floating around. Yeah.
Presented by
I guess some of them are supposed to taste better than others. And everyone I've ever met who drinks energy drinks has a preferred brand. Some of them are supposed to taste like candy. Yeah, if you watch VTubers and you watch Hololive, then you know Mori, Calliope. She has a preferred brand. What is it? Bangs? I think it's Bangs. And those are supposed to be like pure sugar, so that they do not follow the usual aspartame kind of content that you would expect from other energy drinks like Red Bull. Rawhide. You know, that's the joke about Clownhide. He is supposed to be a pun on Rawhide, in a way. Like, what do you get when you skin a hide? You get a clown hide. Yeah. Or when you skin a clown. I don't know. Something like that. But that was the intention of the joke. And it's supposed to be a reference to a game I used to play called Kingdom of Loathing. In the game, you can skin a clown. You can get their skin and make equipment out of clown hide. Yeah. So it's a reference and a joke. Rawhide! Yeehaw! That reminds me of the Blues Brothers movie. Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. Starring Dan Aykroyd and Belushi as the Blues Brothers. And it, oh, who was it? Heidi Ho guy. What was his name? Heidi Ho. He did Minnie the Moocher. And he did Old Man in the Mountain, and so many other wonderful Heidi Ho songs. What was his name? It's gonna bug me. Anyway, yeah. Whenever I hear Rawhide, like, I don't think of the TV show or the theme song. I think of the Blues Brothers, and I think of the good old Blues Brothers boys band. Good times. I used to watch that movie pretty religiously. I would talk more about it, but some of the themes are, well, Illinois Nazis. What more do I have to say? I would get cancelled in modern era. I do have to be very careful. I'm useless for remembering celebrity public figure names. Oh yeah, yeah. Same. I really am. In fact, I have a bit of face blindness. So, it usually takes me like 5, maybe 6 weeks of interactions with a person before I can even put their name to their face. Like, I can remember their face. I can remember their name. But, yeah. Yeah, I don't remember what they look like. Yeah, for a while. The association is not strong. And, even when they have a distinctive face and I can somewhat vaguely remember it, it has to be a pretty distinctive thing for it to leave any kind of impression in my head. So I don't really know a lot of actors either, or actresses. I think they just prefer to be called actors now. Yeah, actresses has fallen out of favor. I don't understand it, but that's fine. Right, I was gonna talk about my plans for this morning. So, I am going out despite being sick. I'm gonna go on a fishing trip again. um, yeah. You see, my brother, he caught a very large trophy fish. And, yeah, that's not great. I can't have my brother, beating me in the fishing department. No. I can also go out and grab nature footage. Yeah, like today, I put out a short involving nature footage from my last fishing outing, right? Yeah, I'm very excited most for the nature footage. Like, I have been in a drought of, oh, we turned red there for a second. Are we turning framey? Let's check what's going on here. That's the upload speed. Did we have a few hiccups there? We dropped some frames. But we're only at 0.3%. Well, I do apologize for the framiness. You stuttered a little? I stutter all the time. Should be good, from what I can see here. Sorry about that. For whatever reason, my ISP is still using cables that are above ground. They're too lazy to, dig trenches, I guess, and lay pipe to put cables into. Even though that would be ideal for future-proofing. So, whenever there are storms or rain or anything like that, I do have to worry about, you know, outages and hiccups from tree branches mostly hitting the lines. The choice of rural living? Absolutely. If it weren't for, the nature, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's so nice to, have so much nature around me, and to not have to worry about, I guess, the noise pollution of a city. Like, I don't think I could live in a city, but maybe a small town would be okay if it weren't for the nature around me. Yeah. I really would miss the nature entirely too much if I ever went out of it. It looks like we're stable again, though. So, yeah, happy days. I also like to do this thing around, 3 to 4 a.m., where they periodically just turn off whatever is transmitting to this area. I don't know how it works. I don't study technology. Like, for the longest time, I was a Neo-Luddite, and I just refused to use technology whenever possible. I still do that with baking, because I think you can taste the difference in baking if you use a stand mixer versus if you make a dough by hand. I think you can taste the difference, right? I can certainly feel the difference when I'm baking breads, and when I'm making cookies. I think the texture is superior because of, well, if you think about it, if you make any kind of pastry dough, ouch, that one hurt. Back to baking. Yeah, it's one of my hobbies. Like, it is one of my longest lasting hobbies. A lot of hobbies I pick up and put down. It happens. But baking, I started baking, I want to say in 10th grade, right? Yeah, it was sometime in high school, 10th or 11th grade, that I took a foods course in my high school. I don't know if I've talked about this. Do tell me if I've talked about it, and I will pick a different topic. Otherwise, I'm going to tell you about my baking course. And, it was very interesting, because Juicebox reloaded. No, not yet. It's still not empty. We're still on Juicebox number 1. So, oh, you know what? We were talking about my fishing trip, weren't we? Personally not heard that story? Okay. We'll talk about that then. My high school was very rural, and, you can imagine that it had very traditional gender roles. Let's see here. We're gonna go to the right. I think we want to go right. So, even though we offered a foods course, it was, ouch, mostly an elective taken by female students. Yeah. And the first males to take it in the entirety. Ouch, that hurts. First males to take it in the entirety of the history of my school were actually one of my brothers. I have several. I got them for a good price, you know? So it's always best to have backups on your brothers. Yeah, sometimes they go bad, and you have to replace them. It happens, right? So it was one of my brothers and his childhood friend. And then there weren't any until my year. And my year, there were 4 of us. And we all had, basically tables, which served as groups for group assignments. And we also had individual assignments. But we typically cooked in groups because it was more economical that way. So all of the males ended up becoming one group just because we were all males. Pick up value pack, your local Costco. I wish there were a local Costco. Like, I went out of my way to, I went out of my way to go pick up value packs at a, larger bulk goods grocery store. It was an hour-long drive just to get there. That's one way. And, yeah, that's where I got sick. Because I always get sick when I go out. Anyway, what was I talking about? The foods course. Yeah, so basically, that's where I started baking. That's where I started learning how to cook. It wasn't just baking and cooking either. Like, it was all sorts of things like table etiquette and what tableware to use for what meals and whatever else. Like, we prepared for multi-course meals and all sorts of things. But I mostly just remember it as the start of my passion for baking. Yeah. The first thing that we were assigned to do was make cookies. So, yeah, we made chocolate chip cookies, just like it says on the back of the chocolate chip packages. And I remember, I was not happy with how those cookies turned out, because they were very soft and fluffy. And I hate soft and fluffy cookies, right? They need to be crisp on the outside. If they're not crisp on the outside, like, what are you doing with your cookies, you know? Never saw the point in table setting. One second. Sorry about that, had to cough. Opposite cookie taste, yeah. Soft, chewy cookies. I don't know. I just don't know. They don't soak milk up as well. They don't hold their, warm? Warm ones. Yeah, okay. Warm cookies, they can be a cake, right? And you can eat them soft, but I don't think... Like, if you're eating a cooler cookie, I do think that, crunchier cookies are probably better off. Especially if you're having them with milk, right? Because they hold their shape a little bit better? Yeah. What was I talking about? Cookies. I was talking about cookies. Oh, table setting. Table setting. It only matters if, you go out to fancy restaurants, I think. Bad opinion night. You're right. Hyde is very not thinking straight today. And, that happens when you get sick, I guess. I don't know, like, every time I have a soft cookie, and I dunk it in milk, it just disintegrates. And then I end up with cookie milk, instead of, you know, a dunked cookie. Every time I use a crispy cookie, like, it comes out of the milk clean, and the milk is still clean, and you can drink the milk afterwards. I don't know if I can do that. That's a big ask. Cookie milk sounds delicious. I think cookie milk has its place, but I don't think... Like, personally, I think I'd just rather have milk and cookies. It's not like a mac and cheese kind of situation, where you're trying to make one thing out of two different things. Like, it's very much, these two different things ought to be two different things to me. It's not a compound, it's, a list. Yeah. So cookies and milk, instead of cookie and milk. But I'll tell you what, thinking about it, some cookies are better as soft cookies. Like, it's not universal. Cookies dry? I guess if you're not dunking them in milk, it is less of a concern. And you would need the softness to make them not taste like the Sahara Desert. Yeah, very dry and gritty. Probably not a great idea. And for any Zoomers that might stumble upon this video, I said gritty with 2 T's, not gritty. Yeah, there will be no dances here. Nope, nope. You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. But if Hyde won't dance, and then... yeah, okay, you get the point. I actually really enjoy Men Without Hats, the band that sings Safety Dance. Doris Shuck, the guy who sings all of the songs, is a very clever writer, although you'd never understand that from just Safety Dance. You have to look at his other songs. Very optimistic, too. Very happy. No. It would take a lot to even make me consider dancing. Not on TikTok. It would take a lot to even consider dancing. Hyde has no rhythm. He can't even do poetry. Yeah, he can't. Like, I think you can tell from the way I talk that there is a very unusual cadence going on. And, it's very arrhythmic. Yeah. There's no rhyme or reason to it. And, yeah, the same goes for my dancing. It's not like I can't keep time. I can keep time. It's just that rhythm in dancing and in meter and poetry and all that. There's something about it that just scrambles my brain, and I don't know what's going on. Poetry in my channel? Yeah, that was a long time ago, wasn't it? Like, it's a cruel memory, isn't it? To look back on who I was. I think that was Blacklight Burns, a song. It's one of my favorite songs from my childhood. Cruel memory. Yeah. I do have poetry on my channel. I have uploaded the only poem that I've ever written and enjoyed from myself, yeah. And I've also done the cigarette poetry game, which was actually a very fun stream. If you haven't seen it, I basically played a game that auto-generated pretentious poetry about cigarettes, and tried to analyze it as if it were written by an actual human with actual intent. Yeah. I'd love to do more content like that, but it's very hard to find, like, just games about generating poetry. I think that's a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing, you know? You gotta get very, very lucky. We're gonna open another juice box here. Come on, straw. I luckily did not bend my straw this time. Like, I hate when I bend my juice box straws at the bottom. What's the flavor for tonight? Minute Maid Fruit Punch. 100% juice, no sugar added. From concentrate. Yeah. Fantastic. I actually enjoy poetry. Like, I know it doesn't seem it. It really does seem strange that I would enjoy poetry, but I do. I do enjoy poetry. And, can I just sink this into the zone? Hold on a second. Classic? Yeah. Kinda tastes like Hawaiian Punch, if you've ever had Hawaiian Punch. But actual juice? I can't sink that, that's not gonna work. We're gonna have to try and bounce this in. Yep, there we go. I do like poetry. Like, when I was a kid, I didn't like writing poetry, and I still don't, because I feel like my experiences don't really resonate with people for specific reasons. I feel like, oh, look at him, he's so special and unique. No, no, it's not like that. It's more like, I really don't think I'd write poetry about things which would have meaning to most people. Yeah, it's something like that. Like, most people would write about the beauty of nature, and I'd probably write about something niche, obscure, or, very bland, right? Something that most humans could not relate to. It'd be like an AI program writing about a poem using ones and zeros. Not binary, just ones and zeros. Cats. You would write about cats. I know a lot of people probably would enjoy reading poetry about cats. Cats are a very human, well, there's a wide range of humans which enjoy cats. It's true. A lot of cultures have historically liked cats. Should I should I try for something a little bit fancy here? I don't think we have it. I don't think we could do this. No, no, that would just bounce out. Let's not be fancy, Hyde. Let's just get there. We go. So a wide variety of cultures have enjoyed cats historically because they catch vermin, pests, like plague-carrying rats or old ladies, right? Like, I don't discriminate against what carries my plagues. Rats, cats, bats, old ladies. They all rhyme, right? There's my sense of rhythm again. Silly little weirdos. Uh, hmm. I assume you're talking about how they have their fickle habits of just staring into space and then meowing at you, like they expect you to see the ghosts that they also see in the corner of the room? Yeah, I don't know. They are silly, they are little, and they are weirdos. They have very distinctive personalities. Like, I know a lot of people probably argue about whether or not cats have self-awareness or consciousness. I don't know. I really don't, and I don't care. I can tell you that cats definitely have unique personalities. I have had many cats over the years, and no two cats have been the same.
Game over.
They all have unique preferences, and they all have unique habits, right? Like one of my oldest
Presented
cats.
by Data
She was an outdoor cat, childhood, family cat. She was outdoor cat, so she was half feral. But she really enjoyed just sitting in this one location on the porch, and she was fine so long as she was sitting there. But as soon as anyone tried to, like, you could pet her when she was sitting there, but as soon as she was off that one spot, and you tried to pet her, you would get clawed. There was just no going around it. You would just get clawed, and she would attack you and jump at you if you even got too close to her. Right? She was one of those cats that would jump at your legs as you walked past her, even if you took a wide berth around her. The petting zone. Yes, she had a cordoned off section where petting was okay. It's very much like a museum, right? Like, they'll get angry at you if you touch certain exhibits. But there are certain zones and exhibits where you can touch things. Yeah. Like, I remember, I think it's the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum. They have a moon rock on display, and you can touch it. You can touch a rock from the moon. It doesn't feel like anything because, so many people have touched it by this point that it's essentially recessed and smooth against the frame they built around it. Yeah, it isn't actually that interesting, like moon rock. I know what you're thinking. It's from the moon. Why isn't it interesting, Hyde? Because it's not actually moon material. Did you know that the moon was formed, when a very large planetoid collided with our Earth? And the planetoid, was likely, rocky, in the sense that it was not gaseous. So it was a rocky kind of planetoid like Earth. And, what happened was the larger mass was the Earth, and it ended up taking, the heavier stuff, like the nickel and iron, and absorbing that into the core of the Earth. And all of the, ejecta was essentially molten Earth crust. And that's what the moon is. Mostly molten Earth crust. We can tell this because, the composition of the moon is very light in, density, I guess? Density, is that the right word? And chemically, the components are similar to Earth's crust at that time, that they're very enriched in silica and silicate minerals. Yes, I did. Very good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of the moon is just anorthosite, which is feldspars. Very pretty though, very reflective when you grind it up into a fine powder. And apparently you can use it to paint walls and shoot portals on them. Yeah. That's definitely an application I've seen in a documentary once or twice. Also, did you know that lemons make great combustibles? I didn't know that until recently, but apparently you can burn a house down with them. Yeah, something like that. We're gonna go a little bit longer today, until I finish my juice box maybe, or I get tired. And I know I'm already tired, but we'll see how it goes. So, especially if you put a lemon in the microwave. Oh, I have seen that. Have you seen, have you seen people putting grapes in microwaves? Like, they skin the grape until there's only a thin, that was a bad shot. A thin strip of grape skin across the grape, and then they microwave it. And it creates plasma. I have not? You need to look at those videos. They, literally create plasma. It's fantastic. I don't know if it ruins the microwave. Maybe it does. But, it's probably better than microwaving a lemon. Because, lemons are high in moisture content, right? And they have that thick rind, which is also full of oils. So I have to imagine that they are actually combustible. Think like that. Nope, not like that. Not like that at all. Yeah, you can create plasma at home. Very interesting science experiment, kids. Don't do it. Don't do it without supervision. Oh, hold on. Hey there, kids. I know what you're thinking, and, dear viewers, do not do that at home. Do not. I am not liable if you, ruin your microwave by making plasma in it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it seemed like a Jekyll moment, right? Telling kids not to do something that they shouldn't do. He seems responsible. Did you see that? I just nudged that thing. You can supervise yourself? Yes. Everything at your own risk. Just as long as YouTube, with their terms of service, know that I do not actually condone or encourage you to do anything dangerous. Yeah. Yeah, in fact, I warned you. I warned you not to do it. Although I think, I'm pretty sure it's mostly safe. It's not like that TikTok that was going around where you superheated eggs in their shell in a microwave, and then, you had other people crack them, and they ended up just exploding. Literally. Oh. we are getting frame dips again. Or not frame dips, those are upload dips. Dropped frames, still at 0.3%. Not ideal. Don't know what's up with the internet. Probably the storms going through, if I had to guess. It's been nothing but storms for weeks here. Literally 2.5 weeks of nothing but gray skies, and it is as dreary as it sounds. I feel like I'm in London or something, you know? So I do apologize for those frame dips. Probably trees on the line. Yeah. These things will happen when you live in the country like I do. And really, the ironic thing is, I would have a better ISP if there were any better ISPs around. Yeah, I've looked, and none of them offer any better infrastructure or packages. Yes. Hold on a second. Let me apply the makeup back on. There we go. Yeah. This is supposed to be a tired Hyde stream. A sick Hyde stream. Which is interesting because we are streaming longer than I typically stream. But that's fine too. I have to attribute it to the power of the juice box, you know? Yeah, if it weren't for the juice box, I don't think I'd be able to be streaming like this. Like I said earlier today, the coffee, oh, very nice touch. Don't take that out of context. I didn't like drinking the coffee from the straw. A, it was cold by the time I drank it from the straw. B, it was entirely too much coffee. It's like 3 cups of coffee, just to fill up the container I was using. And C, I had to attach 2 straws together. I don't know if you were actually there last week, Diana. I don't remember you talking in chat. If you were, maybe you were lurking. But that's what I did last week. I attached 2 plastic straws together and drank an abundance of caffeine, coffee, black, cold. Ah yes, passed out. Very understandable. Like, I always say, take care of yourselves before even considering watching my content. And I do mean that. I really think that, you do not have to be here if you are, tired, number one. Because I know I stream very late for, what I am as an EST content creator and viewer. Yeah, like, my time zone would fit better for, Australian viewers. So yeah, if you have other things to do or you're just tired, please take care of yourselves. Only chance to talk to Hyde though? Yeah. And I know, I know, I haven't been very good at my once a week streams as of late, but I am trying to make that consistent. I really am. So, I don't really think this is the last opportunity. Yeah, Hyde's not really going anywhere. Not for a while. I actually enjoy content creation, and I do recognize the importance of streams, specifically streams, because they do allow me to interact with you and other viewers in a way that my other content just simply can't. Ah, so close there. Oh no, I meant my only chance a week, I see. Well, that's true. I do try to respond to every comment I get on videos in a timely enough fashion if I can, or if there aren't any other circumstances around things. But I do understand. Live interaction is very different, right? Like, when I stream, you can leave comments right now, and I can respond directly to them with my voice, which is apparently something people like hearing, you know? Which still is very strange to me. that there are people who want to listen to the old man with his strange cadence ramble about who knows what. Like today I was going to talk about, I guess my fishing trip, which I did a little bit. The one that I plan to do after I don't sleep tonight. And, ascribed versus inherent traits. I don't think we're gonna get to ascribed versus inherent traits. I think we're gonna end when, my juice box ends. So I don't think we should really use that topic, but that was an interesting topic. We might use that next week. Or, you know, you get to suggest topics for me to talk about, and then you get entirely unique Hyde content. Hyde content that even Hyde wouldn't have predicted, right? There are many benefits to streams and interactions. I don't think that's gonna make it. Interactions with me while I'm streaming that you just couldn't get any other way. I get it. Which is why I do try to offer a weekly stream, even if it's not always the best stream. Like today I am sick, and I am trying my best to not sniffle on the microphone. So hopefully that there's that. Like in the early days, I did not care about sniffling. I thought it was fine that no one would watch my content anyway. And I even embraced the sniffles and added sniffle counters to my content when I had COVID the first time. Bring mega-sized juice boxes. I have what I have, and you know, I thought 3 would be more than enough, and it turns out we're probably gonna get through 2. Like, I know, it'd be ideal if, most streamers can stream for a lot ouch. Longer than I can. I'm an old man, right? I am, an old man, and I have schedules to maintain and things to do, and I have to go outside for some of my content, right? Like, a lot of streamers don't have to go outside and film nature videos almost every week or 2. Yeah. Hyde is, he's very unfortunate in the case that he has to go somewhere else to record specific content. But I do like giving that content, right? Like, it's an experience you can't really get. This is awful. I could sync it. I can definitely sync it. There are experiences that I can't sync it. I can't sync it at all. I am sorry, Diana. I don't mean to call you old as well. I guess I'm not that old. Yeah, neither of us are old. But yeah, I am very unfortunate compared to some streamers in the sense that I can't really get all of my content here in the comfort of my own home. A lot of my content has to come from going out on day trips. So that further exacerbates the scheduling issues. And then we have the fact that, unfortunately, I am addicted to nicotine. And YouTube does not like you smoking while doing other things. Like, they'll look past it, and I'm a small enough streamer that I can probably do it. But I feel like the algorithm would probably, you know, slap you on the wrist for that kind of thing. And then your shorts don't get shown in the shorts feed for a week or 2. Something like that. Change your mark then? You mean my Oshi mark? You know, it was the strangest thing. For the longest time, I didn't even want to have an Oshi mark. And I thought to myself, there's no reason for me to have an Oshi mark. No one's gonna use my Oshi mark. Ouch. Ouch, that was a bad shot. So I just thought, what would be the most ridiculous thing, as per my lore, that I could use as my Oshi mark? And I remembered that, Hyde and Jekyll are Victorian literature, so they're almost like 200 years old. So it's lore accurate, right? Yeah. I don't I don't smoke cigarettes, so my lungs are actually okay.
Presented by Data
It's
East.
all in the esophagus and the mouth, right? Pipe tobacco and cigars, and not that much of it per day that it would be too much to affect things. It does stiffen up the throat and cause a bit of postnasal drip and lead to, I guess, an increased risk of upper respiratory illnesses. So I do not recommend smoking at all. Uh, if you cannot do it, please don't. Yeah, but that's my advice to anyone out there. I can't actually stand the smell of cigarette smoke. Like, it physically is repulsive to me. Everyone in my family smoked cigarettes when I was growing up, so I, I I can tolerate it. I can be around it. I just really dislike it, and it's something on a physical level. I don't agree with it. I have the same reaction to the smell of onions cooking in butter. Like, it's a very strange thing to have a visceral reaction to onions cooking in butter. Like, most people would find that smell delicious. I don't. There's something in the sulfur compounds with dairy. It just makes it like creamy, acrid grossness. Like, I can't. It is physically repulsive. Ah, yes. Oh, Diana. This really is a bad night, huh? Worst opinions ever. Yeah. I am sorry to hear about your parents being smokers, though. Opposite taste. Yeah, well, sometimes it's interesting when people disagree, right? Like, I know a lot of people say there's harmony when people have the same preferences and tastes, but I think what there is a lot of boredom, right? Like, a little bit of difference is necessary to drive novelty. If we were all the same person, then there really wouldn't be a need to have conversations at all, would there be? Because we'd all already share the same opinions, we'd all already like the same things, and there wouldn't really be a need to communicate anything other than basic facts like, oh, I've injured my arm, please take me to a doctor. Everything would just be matter of fact, and it would be very to the point, I think. But when there are differences in opinions, you have that wonderful opportunity to explore every single little difference. Even if, human, yes, human amalgamate hive minds. Probably not an ideal end, but an end that is possible for our species. And speaking of ends, that's where we are tonight. I thank you all for coming. It was my pleasure to see you. Nice to see you again, especially Diana. It's good to have you back, even if you were passed out last week. Even if, my tastes were opposite. Yeah. And to any lurkers, thank you for showing up to listen. Hyde loves you all, and he will see you again next week. It's the end already? Yeah, I know, it's sad. But I finished 2 juice boxes. I got to the end of that side pocket game, and that seems like a good place to end it. I'd rather end my content in a good place than just try to push through it. If you don't know, there is a Hyde stream that got nuked from my archive because I tried to force the fun, and I just couldn't do it. So, yeah, this is how this is probably better. So we don't have a repeat of that. Thank you for the stream, thank you for coming, Roar. It was good to see you as well. Good night. Yeah, we'll see about the nap. We will see about the nap. I was planning on going around 6. Yeah, 6 a.m. was when I was gonna go out there. We'll see, we'll see. Good night to you all. It was a pleasure. I'll see you all again next week, as I said, barring anything happening. I love you all. Hyde. Oh, that's the wrong stream. Hyde out. See you all next time.